Welcome back to Master Your Glass with me, Livio Lauro. Today I'm joined by my longtime friend, Bobby G Gleason, who is going to school us on how to make melted caramel, aka hot buttered rum. Bobby, long time coming. Thanks for coming on the show.
I'm so glad you brought me, Livio.
Oh, my pleasure, man. We've been friends for many, many years, too many to actually want to state. But you've been bartending since '84. You're an expert. You're a certified master mixologist. You're every single reason why you should be on this show to show us how to make this really cool drink called the Hot Buttered Rum.
Great. Well, you know, Livio, when it comes to classic cocktails and cocktails in history, this is one of the oldest cocktails in history.
Wow.
For us, it dates all the way back to colonial days when we start to name it back in those days. Because in the colonial days, in the colonies, the first spirits that we distilled was rum. The very first distillery in the United States was built on Staten Island to make rum.
Interesting.
At that time, molasses was coming up out of the islands and coming into the States. We were making those rums, and when the cold would get into the air, everyone served their drinks hot. Now, when you went into the inn, many times they would have the hot irons in the fire. And when they had their drink, they would take that iron out and poke it into the glass, and the ingredients in the glass would actually flip over. And that's where the style of cocktail known as the flip came from.
Interesting, okay.
So now the hot buttered rum is actually a batter. And what we're gonna do is create a batter. And what you're gonna do at home is you're gonna go ahead and soften your butter, get that nice and soft.
Okay.
And you're gonna add your brown sugar.
Okay.
We want 2 parts brown sugar, 1 part butter. So,
Sounds delicious already.
so if it's 1 pound of brown sugar, it's a half a pound of butter.
Gotcha.
Then we're gonna start the holy trinity of spices for the hot buttered rum. Cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, that's your base. Now, all the standard hot buttered rums are gonna have that in their batter, but with the ingredients that we can get today, we can certainly make it our own. And with mine, I like to add a little bit of allspice, some ground cinnamon, have that little hint of spice there, and some beautiful vanilla. That vanilla bean, the Madagascar bourbon vanilla bean, it's just beautiful in there.
Sounds like a heaven right there.
So you're gonna wanna mix this in a big bowl.
Okay.
And we're gonna use a mixer. Remember, a hand blender, not a blender for making frozen drinks. A hand blender like this. Combine all your ingredients, mix that up, and you'll make a batter much like this. Now, I always suggest get yourself your disposable plastic bowls with a nice sealable top, because you're gonna wanna make a lot, because your friends are gonna wanna take it home. And it makes a great gift.
Yes.
So,
Take it home, yeah.
we have some batter here, and we're going to take a bar spoon of the batter. Well, first let me back up a step, because remember, when we serve a cold cocktail, we always serve it in a cold glass. Well, much that same way, if we're gonna serve a hot cocktail, we want it in a hot glass as well. So we're gonna go ahead and put some of our steaming hot water right here in our glass, and you can see already that's just warming that batter up. Get that cup nice and warm, okay? Today we're gonna be using Cruzan rum.
Okay.
Now, with Cruzan coming from St. Croix, this is the 5-year-old Diamond Estate. These are 5-year-old rums that are blended. So this rum here is filtered back out, and some of the color is taken out, but not all of it. When we say dark rum, what we are talking about is rum that's aged in wood.
Gotcha.
And all of this color is coming from the wood.
Unlike the ones that are caramel colored.
Correct. So what I have here today is the Cruzan single barrel. Now what this is rums that Gary hand selects casks of rum that are 5 to 12 years old, mingles all of those barrels together, and then that gets put into a brand new charred oak barrel. And then we age that again, and then that gives it its single barrel designation.
Interesting.
So I love this rum for this drink because it brings all of those notes, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, that come from the wood and that aging in there. It makes the flavor really deep, and you get all those beautiful notes from that barrel. So
Fantastic.
our cup is nice and hot. We're gonna discard that water.
Sure looks like it is.
And we're gonna go ahead and take a bar spoon. And you know who makes this?
Our good friend at the Modern Mixologist?
Yeah, Tony Ebiganum. So we're gonna take one nice large bar spoon of batter.
Okay.
And drop that into our cup. Now, if you like it sweeter, put
Add a
2.
little more. Okay.
Sure.
Well, I think life is sweet enough, but we should always add more
Sure.
sweetness.
Now, at this point, what we want to do is add about 3 ounces of hot water into our cup, cover up the batter, And we're going to use that hot water to dissolve our batter. So we reach in there with that spoon, and you see how the batter is dissolving and getting all incorporated into the water. We want to do this first, and then we'll add our rum.
Okay.
And here again, the beautiful Cruzan single barrel. I'm going to add 1.5 ounces, which is 45 mils, correct?
Okay, perfect. Yes.
All right, great. Now, I've been, like you said, been bartending since 1984, so free pouring is something that I do on a daily basis. For those folks at home that do not free pour, always have a jigger, a measuring device of some kind, because remember that a good cocktail is not a strong cocktail, but a well-balanced cocktail.
Interesting and good to know, and actually profound advice. You know what else happened in 1984, Bobby?
What was that?
That's when I was born.
Come on.
I'm that young, yeah.
All right, so now we've added our rum, and we're going to top that up with our hot water.
Okay. So a total of how much water ended up in this drink?
It's going to depend on the size of your cup.
Okay.
So this is about, what we say, a 10-ounce cup.
Yes.
So we're going to put about 8 ounces of water. So we have an 1.5 ounces of our rum and our batter, and it's going to bring that right up to the top. So, and we're going to go back in and give it another stir to make sure.
Ingredients nice and mixed well together in there. I love it.
And if you like to add a little more aromatics on top, we have some fresh nutmeg. We'll grate that right over the top to add a little more fresh aromatics. And there you have a beautiful hot buttered rum with Cruzan single barrel.
Well, after all that hard work you did, I deserve a drink.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Ready to try the hot buttered rum? I mean, if liquid gold was a thing, here it is. I'm getting all those wonderful spices, the clove, the nutmeg, the cinnamon, you know, the ginger, even the spice notes coming from the single barrel, the Cruzan single barrel. Really, really amazing, and it's warming my soul. I mean, I get why people drink this during the holiday season or when the weather gets cold, just to kind of regroup and remember how really wonderful life is, especially when you're holding on to a drink like this with a friend like this guy. So please, make sure to tune back in to Master Your Glass with me, Livio Lauro. But before you do, please like this video and subscribe for more of Master Your Glass, where you get expert instruction for everyday consumption. Salud!